it is still alive in my memories from my childhood as the Olympic Games happened. All of us were on the television, and everywhere in the television we just saw Olympic Games, and we were looking which athlete gets which medal and so on. For full transparency, I have to say that in a simple childhood we had only one television channel. But even so, this was a complete magic world for us. It's interesting to see that in my daily life, now I'm working a lot, it was a simple coincidence that I found a New York Times article where I realized now we have the Olympic Games in Tokyo, and there is a famous sporter, Simone Biles, who interrupted her performance there. And I was thinking, what's happening? And definitely there are many reasons and circumstances which brought her to this point. And I can imagine one of them was also these empty arenas helped her to see beyond the veil and to ask herself, for who I'm doing all this. And in an interview she says that although in spite of she has her passions, she doesn't want to be a people pleaser anymore. And in this time also happens that Naomi Osaka, the famous tennis player, talks openly about the pressure and depression, or in the same Olympic Games, Nigel Houston, the famous skateboarder, also talks about it, the pressure and depression. And it's important that after all these happenings, also us mental health professionals talk clearly and openly about this dynamic. They talk clearly about what's happening here in this whole game of winning and losing. That behind, in the shadow of every winner, there are countless human beings who experience themselves as losers. And even these persons who are the winners, it's not enough. Then comes the next challenge and next challenge. Even being world champion is not enough in this mentality. Then begins to be the question, how many times in a row can you be a world champion? And the end comes a point where you lose. And many of the people, performance sporters and so on, have an experience of losing, of failing. But the most important is, this is not only about performance sportlers. This is about something which are human conditions in our actual society from now. We can even see our own children playing, and what's happening then. When they are winning, they have these neurochemical interactions in their brain, and they, I won. And then what's happening when they lost the game? Very, very, very deep pain, with intense reactions. And what does our socialization do? It doesn't help this pain. It doesn't help to integrate the pain, to mourn our pain. What helps and what learns for the people, how can you hide it as quickly as possible? How can you bury your pain? And what's happening? We carry all sorts of pains in this dynamic in our society. Everybody in very different schools conditions, very different society conditions. As teenagers, we carry this pain in our hearts. And what is a bit deeper there is a natural wish to be loved, to be accepted, natural wish of belonging. And our very natural human desire of being loved and belonging to compensate with these experiences of admiration, performance and recognition is like trying to take care with our natural wish of love acceptance and belonging, to compensate with performance, admiration and recognition, is very similar, like trying to take care of our thirst with seawater. It will never be enough, and it's not what we need. And still, so much suffering happens. How many sufferings of ourselves and others we have to witness to recognize that this is not the way. It's not about fighting against each other. It's being side to side to each other. It's not about proving ourselves for someone. It's about having the courage to live from the heart. Having the courage to speak openly, to show our hearts and choose our hearts. And I wish for all of us to take every little step which we need on this path of our heart. Thank you.